So last class I had shown you a division of the verb, a classification of verb, and that was main verbs and auxiliary verbs, or model verbs or auxiliaries. Today I am going to show you another classification of verb, that is finite verbs, non-finite verbs. Finite verbs are limited by the tense, person and number of its subject. Non-finite verbs has no limitations. It doesn't change. It doesn't have features of any verb. It doesn't act as a verb. Now you cannot understand what is this, what is finite verb and what is non-finite verb. So now finite verb, it doesn't have any agreement. It has its agreement with the subject. According to the tense, according to the person, and according to the number. Tense, you have present tense, past tense, future tense. Person, you have first person, second person, third person. Number, singular, plural. So, tense, person and number, according to these three parameters, the verb in the sentence keeps on changing, and that verb changes according to these three limitations. They are called finite verbs. Its usage is limited as per three parameters of the subject, and that is tense, in which person the subject is, and which number the subject is. And if the verb changes, it is called a finite verb. I'll show you with examples. So, let us see what finite verbs are. You can write down. If it is clear to you, you can write it down. Finite verb. A finite verb has a limited agreement with the subject. It agrees with the subject. It agrees with the subject means as per the subject instructs him, it does the work. But it has a limitation. It cannot go beyond that. The subject is singular or the subject is plural. The subject is first person, second person or third person. So it keeps on changing. It limits its usage as per subject, as I told you. It has the three parameters. There are three parameters on which the limitation is fixed. The three parameters on which the limitation is fixed. And those three parameters I am going to tell you now. As I told you, one is tense, one is the person, and another is the number. These three, based on these three, the verbs in the sentence keeps on changing. And because they keep on changing, there is a limitation for the uses. They cannot go beyond that. They have to change. There is no other way. They have to change. And so, they are called finite verbs. They are finite. There is no fixed, there is no freedom for them. They are limited. They are bound to change. And they are called finite verbs. I am going to show you now the three parameters with examples, sentence examples, which will be easier for you to understand. How the finite verb changes as per the parameter of the subject in which tense it is. Just as the subject is, in which tense the subject is performing action, whether it is past tense or present tense or future tense. Example, you see, I play cricket today, or I play cricket every day. So here verb is play. So it is in which tense? It is in present tense, simple present tense. So it remains play. The moment we go to past tense, I played, immediately the verb changes. It is a regular verb which gets ed with it to show its past tense. So I played cricket what? Yesterday. So yesterday showing past tense. Today was present tense. So past tense, as the subject is performing action in the past tense, immediately what happened? The verb changes to played. So it changes. So it is not restricted that it cannot change or it will not change. It will change. Again, tomorrow is future tense. Future tense, immediately what happens? It takes another auxiliary to show its tense. I shall play. You cannot just write I play cricket tomorrow. So it is shown in future tense. So immediately as the verb keeps on changing, the verb keeps on changing according to the tense. Today, present tense. Yesterday, past tense. Tomorrow, future tense. As per the tense that the subject acts, immediately the verb keeps on changing. I am swimming. Suppose I change it to past tense. So it becomes I was. Am changes to was. So there is a change. And the verb that changes to play is a finite verb. Played is a finite verb because it changes according to the tense. That is, as I told you, subject one parameter, that subject acts in which tense according to the subject that acts on which tense, the verbs keeps on changing. Now, the second parameter is the person. Person refers to the first person, the second person and the third person. The first person, one who speaks, is the first person. To whom it is spoken is the second person, and about whom it is spoken is the third person. First person, you know, I in singular form, we in plural form. Second person is you, both in singular and plural form. And third person is he, she, it, in, and everything in this universe in singular form comes in third person in singular. And the plural is they, these, those. These things comes in plural, in pronoun form. Now, first person, if I write I, or if I write we, plural. I run a mile daily. So it is run. What is the verb? Which is the verb? Run. Then I am changing it to second person. You run a mile daily. It remains the same. It doesn't mean that it will change in every person. Comes to third person. He, she. Immediately it carries S in present tense. He or she runs a mile daily. So run becomes runs. Again I go to plural, they run. Then come to third person, it runs. So run, runs, it keeps on changing according to the person. So the verb changes as per the person of the subject, showing the first person or third person. It keeps on changing. And that is run or runs. They are finite verbs. The change which changes as per the person of the subject. Come to the third parameter. The third parameter was the number. Number showing singular noun or pronoun or plural noun or pronoun. Number is singular and plural. You must have read all these things in your lower classes. So number is singular or plural. Now this, according to the subject, if the subject is singular, which is the verb to be used. If subject is plural, if the verb is changed or not. If it changes, then it is a finite verb. If it doesn't change, then it is a, if it is not limited according to this, then it is not a finite verb. Now see, apple, singular, apple is red. Or say, bench in past tense was broken, singular, bench, apple. Immediately you change those to plural form. Apple becomes apples, bench becomes benches. So, apples, can you write apples is red? No, immediately our word hand goes to write are. So, apples are, so is changes to are. Is verb. As I told you, in main verb, and the auxiliaries as I showed you, as I had shown you, is, are, and, was, were. All these were the 5 words that have come from the main root verb, that is be, which is the main, which is one of the primary auxiliary. So, apples are ready changes to are. Was changes to were. Bench was broken, plural benches, benches were broken. So, 3 things you saw. The finite verbs changes according to or as per the tense, as per the person and as per the number. of the subject. And those with the verb that changes as per the changes in tense or in person or in number, if they keep on changing, those are called finite verbs. Now we will go for the non-finite verbs, which is another division, which is another part of the verb, the two classification that I have shown you, finite verbs and non-finite verbs. Finite verbs, I hope you have understood, and then we will go for the non-finite verbs. Come to the non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs, which are not finite. Non-finite or not finite. First one, non-finite verbs don't have any agreement with the subject. It does not have any sort of limitation that it has to act according to the number or tense or person of the subject. It is not limited to that particular verb. So it is non-finite. Just as finite verb has its limitation, non-finite verb has no such limitation. It doesn't have any agreement. It doesn't agree. It is not necessary for that verb to agree with the subject. Second, verbs are not limited as per the change in the action done by the subject, tense or number of person or per subject, that is tense or number or person, as I told you just now. It doesn't act according to, just as it has to change according to the tense changes, if the person changes, if the number changes. No, the verb need not change. The verb rather does not change. Which verbs? Non-finite verbs. Third one, it doesn't act as the main verb in the sentence. They don't act as the main verbs in the sentence. Then what sort of thing that it acts as? That means it must be acting as something else, not as the main verb. That can be explained to you through examples. You can write down the points in your copy if you want, or if it is clear to you. The three things: what are non-finite verbs? The verb that doesn't have any agreement with the subject. It is not limited as per the change in the action of the subject, whether the subject acts according to the tense or the number of the subject or the person of the subject. And it does not act as the main verb in the sentence. Examples of non-finite verbs: how they are not affected by the change in the subject as per the tense, as per the number, and as per the person. They are not limited to it. I is the subject, first person, singular. I found, tense, past tense. I found his office at a walking distance. Found, there are two verbs here you can find. One is found, another is walking. Walk is a verb. Now see, come to the second sentence. I remains I, first person singular. I change the tense. I change the tense of this verb. There are two verbs in this sentence. I find his office at a working. Does this verb change? It remains the same. The verb does not change as per the other changes made in the subject is the non-finite verb. Now, this verb is not affected by this change in the verb. The tense is changed, but this verb is not affected. So this, and here also you can find it is not acting as the main verb. So this is the non-finite verb. Working, non-finite verb. Again, come to third person, carries S. He finds his office at a walking distance. Is it changed? It doesn't change. So this is the non-finite. Where is the main verb is finds. But this is the finite verb. It keeps on changing. Whereas walking is the non-finite verb. Come to this, they, plural. I change the number. Here the person was changed. First person changed to third person. Here the third person, the plural is taken. The number is taken. Plural. Singular changes to plural. Again find. The tense changes in the sense the person does, the plural doesn't carry S. So they find again the same, walking remains the same. So the verb which does not change is not affected by the other changes made in the sentence as per the changes in the subject. and it does not act as the main verb. This verb is known as the non-finite verb. This example will help you to know which is the finite verb and which is the non-finite verb. Find, found, finds, it keeps on changing. So these are the finite verbs. Whereas this verb which does not change and it does not act as the main verb in the sentence, that is the non-finite verbs. And if it is not acting as the main verb, then what is it? What does it work? What is its function in the sentence? What is its role in the sentence? That we will discuss after this. So non-finite verbs, they don't act as main verbs. So what do they act as then in the sentence? I showed you the earlier sentence that I found. He found his office at a walking distance. Found is the finite verb and walking, walk is a verb which is the non-finite verb. So it did not act as the main verb. Then what does it act as? Non-finite verbs act as three different parts of speech in the sentence. It acts as a noun, it acts as an adjective, it acts as an adverb. It will be how it acts as a noun. I'll show an example, it will be easier for you. Running is a good habit. What now? Is a verb, okay? Now if I make it to past tense, it will change to was. So it keeps on changing. Now what is a good habit? Running. Running is the subject. If I change, then is will change to was. So that is the finite verb. But at the same time, we know run. Run is a verb. But it is not acting as the main verb here. Because it is the answer to what. Anything that is an answer to what is always a noun. So, what is a good habit? Running is a good habit. So, it acts as a noun here. Dancing is her passion. As I told you, if I change this, it becomes past tense, it becomes was. So, this is the finite verb, whereas non-finite verb is dancing, dance. It comes from the word verb. So, it is taken from the verb. But it does not act as the main verb in the sentence. It acts as a non-finite verb in the sentence. It acts as a noun in the sentence. What is her passion? Dance is her passion. So, it acts as a noun because it is an reply or answer to what? Running, dancing, these are non-finite verbs which acts as a noun. Come to the second example. It acts as an adjective. How does it act as an adjective? How does it act as an adjective? The sleeping cat is brown. Which is the main verb here, which can be changes. We find out if I change the past tense, then it will become was. So is the finite verb there. Whereas sleep is also a verb. It is a verb, but does it act as a verb here? It is not act. It doesn't act as a verb here. Then what does it act as? What sort of cat? It is describing the cat. Anything that describes a noun is an adjective. So sleeping is the adjective here. It is not the verb. Sleep is a verb, but it is not used as a verb here. Rather, it is a verb which acts as an adjective here. So, sleeping cat. Cat is noun, describes the cat, so sleeping is an adjective. Come to the next. Deer. What sort of deer? The deer which was hunted. The deer already has been hunted. It fell down. Past tense. If I change it to present tense, it will become fall. So, fall. So, this is the finite verb. Whereas, hunt is a verb. But here, what it is describing the deer. So, hunted deer. What type of deer? Hunted deer. So it is describing the noun deer. So this is used as an adjective. Though hunt is a verb, it is used as it is a verb which is used as an adjective in this sentence. So this is these two, sleeping, hunted. These are examples of non-finite verbs which are used as adjectives in the sentence. Then it acts as an adverb. How? Come to the example. Earlier went. Went is the main verb. It can change to go. So it is the main verb or the finite verb. Earlier went to UK or United Kingdom to study. What is an adverb? An adverb which adds to the meaning of a verb. Why did Alia go to UK? Adverb of reason. He went to study or she went to study. So before the verb, study is the verb. Before the verb, the word to is used to show that it is used as an adverb in the sentence. So this is the main thing which is you can remember afterwards, that before that verb, your to is used. Comes the he loves. Loves what? He loves to eat. What? Fish. Loves is the main verb. Loves can be changed to loved. So is the main verb the finite verb which changes. Whereas loves to, after to, there is the verb eat. But it is not used as a main verb. It acts as an adverb here. Loves what? So it gives meaning, adding more meaning to the verb loves. So it is an adverb. So eat or study here are verbs but acts as an adverb in these two sentences. So they are non-finite verbs. So non-finite verbs acts as a noun, non-finite verbs acts as an adjective, non-finite verbs acts as an adverb in the sentence. They don't act as main verb in the sentence. Now there are terms, there are grammatical words or terms which are used in grammar to show those verbs which are used as nouns or which are used as adjective, which are used as adverb. The verb which does not act as the main verb but is used in the sentence as a noun is called the gerund. G-E-R-U-N-D. Then the noun, the verb which does not act as the main verb but is used as an adjective in the sentence, that is called participle. Participle. Then the adverb which is used as an adverb but not as a main verb. The verb which is used as an adverb but not as the main verb, that is called infinitive, which is always used with the help of the word to before the verb. So gerund, participle and infinitive, they are the three types, further subdivisions of non-finite verbs. That non-finite verbs which acts as these three but they don't act as main verbs, which I will be describing you or which I will be explaining you in the next class. So today I have given you about finite and non-finite verbs. I hope it is clear, and if there is any doubt, students, please you can call me and get your doubts cleared. After that only I can give you some exercises to work out.